The summer of 2025 was supposed to be vibrant in Philadelphia's Rittenhouse Square, a season filled with laughter, outdoor concerts, and the easy rhythm of city life. Residents and visitors alike looked forward to long evenings in the park, bustling cafes, and the comfort of familiar faces on every corner. This neighborhood, known for its historic charm and lively streets, had always been a place where people felt safe, where the community spirit was strong and neighbors looked out for one another. But that peace was shattered by a series of violent attacks on women, turning once familiar sidewalks into places of fear and uncertainty. The sense of security that had defined Rittenhouse Square was suddenly gone, replaced by anxiety and suspicion. The attacker struck at random times, morning, night, even midday, forcing women to change routines, avoid walking alone, and rely on friends or neighbors for safety. The unpredictability of the violence made every outing feel risky. Conversations shifted from casual to anxious, as the community's sense of safety evaporated. People who once chatted about weekend plans now spoke in hushed tones about the latest incident, sharing warnings and advice. The attacks felt deeply personal, violating not just individuals but the very sanctity of home and neighborhood. Even the simple act of returning home after work became fraught with worry. Rittenhouse Square's protective bubble was burst, exposing the vulnerability women face everywhere, even in places that once felt untouchable. The park, once a symbol of community, now seemed eerily quiet. The community was left grappling with fear, vigilance, and the urgent need to look out for one another. In the face of uncertainty, neighbors came together, determined to reclaim their sense of safety and restore trust in the heart of their city. The terror began on July 18, 2025, when a woman walking her dog was assaulted by a stranger. The peaceful evening was shattered by her screams, echoing through the quiet neighborhood. The assailant fled into the darkness, leaving the community in shock and fear. The very next day, another woman faced a similar horror. She was attacked and sexually assaulted right at the entrance of her apartment building, a place she thought was safe. After a brief lull, a third victim was assaulted on August 2nd, reigniting the community's fears. The terror escalated with two more attacks the very next day, one under the cover of night and the other in broad daylight, showing the attacker's boldness. The attacker's method was chillingly consistent, approaching women from behind, targeting those who were alone and vulnerable. He struck at unpredictable times, making it impossible for women to feel safe at any hour. The assaults ranged from groping to more severe violations, each incident designed to instill a deep sense of fear and helplessness. The community was on edge, with people constantly looking over their shoulders, afraid of the next attack. The escalation, culminating in 2 attacks in one day, sent shockwaves through the community, prompting urgent neighborhood meetings and increased police patrols. Women realized they were vulnerable at any hour, whether day or night, and began to change their routines out of fear. The neighborhood braced for the next strike, with residents taking extra precautions, locking doors, and watching out for each other. The pattern was clear. A serial predator was on the loose, and the community was living in a state of constant vigilance and fear. With fear mounting across Philadelphia, residents grew increasingly anxious as news of the attack spread rapidly through neighborhoods and social media. The city's sense of safety was shaken, and people began to look over their shoulders, worried about who might be next. In response, Philadelphia police launched an intensive investigation, mobilizing extra officers and resources to track down the perpetrator. The department made the case a top priority, determined to restore calm to the community. Detectives canvassed the area, knocking on doors and speaking with residents to gather any possible leads. They collected physical evidence from the scenes and reviewed hours of security footage from homes and businesses, searching for any clue that could point to the suspect's identity. The breakthrough came when surveillance video captured a clear image of the suspect. Police quickly released the footage and suspect's photo to the public, hoping someone would recognize him and come forward with information. Tips poured in from concerned citizens, flooding the police tip line. Investigators worked around the clock, following up on every lead. Soon they identified 37-year-old Dinah Walker as the primary suspect. Detectives meticulously tracked Walker's movements, which matched the timeline and locations of the attacks, confirming their suspicions and strengthening the case against him. Just 3 days after the final assaults, police located and arrested Walker on a city street, bringing his spree to an end and ensuring he could not harm anyone else. He faced multiple charges, including aggravated indecent assault and false imprisonment, as authorities prepared to bring him to justice in court. The arrest brought a wave of relief to the city, highlighting the power of technology, the dedication of law enforcement, and the crucial role of community vigilance in keeping neighborhoods safe. To understand the attacker's mindset, experts like Dr. Carol Lieberman weighed in. She noted the repeated method, attacking from behind, targeting lone women, pointed to compulsive, ritualistic behavior. The escalation in frequency, especially 2 attacks in one day, signaled growing desperation and loss of control. Dr. Lieberman suggested the suspect likely lived a lonely, isolated life, seeking power and control through violence. Such offenders often substitute assault for real connection, driven by deep dysfunction. This analysis demystifies the behavior, showing it's rooted in compulsion, not grand design. Understanding these patterns helps law enforcement and communities recognize warning signs. Walker's arrest ended the immediate threat, but the trauma lingered in Rittenhouse Square. Residents, especially women, struggled to regain a sense of safety. Experts urge practical steps: avoid walking alone, share your route, and stay alert. The attack spurred neighborhood watch groups and tighter security, fostering a renewed sense of community. People looked out for each other, turning fear into solidarity. The ordeal was a harsh lesson in vigilance and resilience. Simple habits, staying aware, trusting instincts, became vital tools. Healing meant reclaiming the streets together and restoring peace to the neighborhood.